In this video, we're going to set up our first user form. Go into the Developer tab and click Editor. Now in the editor, we're going to right-click and insert a user form. So your user form should pop up in Workbook 1-User Form 1, and you should have a toolbox that pops up. Let's do a couple adjustments to our user form. Right-click the user form and go to Properties. Now we will see the name of the user form, UserForm1. So whenever you assign a macro to this, you want to use the name UserForm1. And there's all other different kinds of features, such as the background color, the border color, the caption, which is the title when it pops up. And we're going to change this caption, which would be the title, to Color User Form. And this title will make even more sense in the videos to come. But for now, you can go ahead and name it whatever you want. And I'm going to say Color User Form. You can change the font, the height, which is what we want to change. We're going to make this 500. So you can see that the user form extends down. We're going to go all the way down and change the width to 500 as well. And you'll see that the user form extends out. So when we hit the Run button, we can see our user form pop up and our name, Color User Form, is at the top. But from our workbook, we don't have a way of going directly into our user form. So we're going to put a button down that will allow us access to the user form. So it will be button 1, click, new, and when the button is clicked, we're going to say user form 1, which was the name of our user form, dot show. And what this is saying is that when I click that button, the user form will pop up. So I'll go ahead and comment this. So now in the workbook, when I click this button, the user form will pop up. And I'm going to go ahead and rename this button. Open form. And I'm going to make the text bigger as well. So when I click this, the user form opens up. You can click X to close out of the user form, but let's say I want a button to close out of the user form. So go into Editor, double click your user form, and on the toolbox, we're going to add a button. So it's going to say Command Button, click on that, and let's draw a button in the bottom right-hand corner. So you can see that when you drag and release, it's named Command Button 1. To give it a different header, click on the button, and let's just say Close. To edit the code associated with the button, you can right-click and go to View Code. You can also see the properties from there, where you see that the name is Command Button, but we changed the caption to be Close. Or you can simply double-click and it will open the code. We said that we wanted this command button to close out of the user form, so we're going to type unload and then our user form name, which was UserForm1. So now when we click the open form, we can click close and it will exit out of our user form. In the user form, if we wanted to edit this close button name and we wanted it to say not command button, but close button. To make it easier for us to remember that that button is the close, you're going to have to rename it in the properties and say close button. Now instead of the name being command button, in our code, we can change this to close button. The most important thing to remember is whatever name you have under the properties is the same name that you have to have when you do a subroutine. The caption will never affect that subroutine, but the name is what needs to match. So this was just a quick introduction to setting up a user form and exiting out of a user form. In later videos, we will go into different attributes on the user form that you can customize.